Good evening and welcome to News 4210. Last night we watched in horror as the unsinkable Titanic suffered uncontrollable damage and went down in the Atlantic. Tonight we're going to show you how White Star has used social media and their crisis control efforts in the past 24 hours and helped control the disastrous event. Field reporter Alicia Andrews is at the loading dock where the rescue boat Carpathia has finally made it to New York City with some survivors of the Titanic. Alicia?
The people here can't stop checking their smartphones in hopes that their loved ones have checked in aboard the Carpathia or one of Titanic's other lifeboats. White Star has arranged so that passengers could check in on Foursquare once on their rescue boat so friends and family could locate them amidst the chaos of the sinking boat. Here are just a few ways Foursquare has helped bring solace to worrisome friends and family back home. Mr. Ismay has refused to comment, and that is perhaps because of the thousands of negative tweets White Star Line has received in the last 24 hours regarding the man they're calling J. Groot Ismay. Mr. Ismay, Mr. Ismay! Fail. Now back to Morgan for more information.
It seems as though Alicia has just tried for an interview with Mr. Ismay. For those of you who don't know who he is, Mr. Ismay is the chairman of White Star Line and has apparently made it to safety. The public is outraged at Mr. Ismay for his behaviors and actions. It's been reported that before Titanic was even ready to sail, there were over 50 cancellations, and Mr. Ismay pulled together passengers from other White Star ships in order to fill up Titanic's passenger list. Bruce Ismay has been subject to thousands of angry tweets and Facebook posts in the past 24 hours. It's hard to believe that these cowardly actions came from such a clever salesman. Here's a video of Mr. Ismay recorded by White Star's advertising teams just days before the Titanic began its voyage, trying to convince passengers from the White Star ships to buy tickets aboard the Titanic.
If you're not traveling to America aboard the Titanic, you're missing out on an experience of a lifetime. On April 10th, the Wonder Ship will set sail for its maiden voyage, and there's still a chance to get your seat on the largest moving object in the world. Nearly 900 feet in length and weighing 45,000 tons, it's no wonder they're calling the Titanic the unsinkable ship. And with over 25 years of experience, the remarkable Captain E.J. Smith, known as the Millionaire Captain, will be in charge of bringing this ship to the States. We've got tickets available at every class level for this voyage of a lifetime, so come buy your tickets for the biggest ship in the world, the Titanic!
While that video of Mr. Ismay may be difficult to watch now, we must not forget the heroes aboard the Titanic as well. In New York City, our reporter Brianna Baker has more information on a man known as the Millionaire's Captain, Captain E.J. Smith.
Captain E.J. Smith, 62, had worked with White Star Lines for 26 years. Called the Millionaire's Captain, Smith was the highest paid, most respected captain on the sea. He kept an active presence on Facebook throughout the Titanic's maiden voyage, even posting pictures of the ship, crew, and passengers. However, he also posted a somewhat disturbing note on his Facebook page early this morning. Citing gashes in most of the Titanic's watertight compartments from an iceberg, Smith's last note is an apology to passengers and families, stating, "The unsinkable ship is sinking. A rogue iceberg was not sighted in time, and we grazed it. Many more than 2 of her watertight compartments are filling up, and we don't have enough lifeboats. As captain of the Titanic, I am responsible for every soul on board, and to every soul I say this with deep sorrow. I am sorry. To every man, woman, and child who will not be meeting their families in New York, I am sorry. I'm sorry I have failed you as a captain. To atone for my poor judgment, I will not be saving myself a place on a lifeboat. Women and children first. And to the men, I say, be British, boys, be British. Ever the Englishman. For News 4210, I'm Brianna Baker. Back to the newsroom.
Thanks, Brianna. Along with Captain Smith, radio operator Harold Bride must be credited for his heroic work amidst the chaos of Titanic's sinking. Our reporter Katie Hartwick has more on this story.
Thank you, Morgan. Harold S. Bride is the only surviving radio operator of the Titanic's sinking. While aboard the rescue ship Carpathia, Bride worked tirelessly at keeping White Star's PR team up to date on the details of the accident via the Titanic's Twitter page. Prior to the accident, he and other radio operator John Phillips, who did not survive the tragic accident, kept the world updated with pictures and videos aboard the Titanic. They stayed engaged with fans and followers and maintained constant communication with the White Star's PR team, including Philip S. Franklin, over in New York City. As the disaster was unfolding, Bride was the first to address White Star and the nation. Without Bride's amazing involvement on Twitter during this event, it is likely that White Star would have had no idea what was going on. For his heroic efforts, we honor Harold S. Bride and his partner, John Phillips, for their outstanding communications work on the Titanic. And I'm just now getting word that British reporter Colleen Jackson has the report on White Star's efforts to use the social media platform Quora to answer some of the questions that the world has had about this disaster. Colleen?
This is Colleen coming to you from Britain. Quora is still a relatively new social media platform, but hundreds of curious citizens took to the site to have their questions answered about the Titanic's accident. White Star's PR team has been monitoring the site and answering as many questions as possible. A few of the questions they've already addressed are: what caused the ship to sink? Why weren't there enough lifeboats for all the passengers? And how many people perished in the accident and how many were rescued? And White Star PR has put their answers on their Quora. This is great. Back to you, Morgan.
Well, that's all we've got for you tonight. Thanks to all of our reporters at News 4210. While the sinking of Titanic was a tragic accident that we'll never forget, our station commends White Star for its strategic use of social media during this disaster. They've helped passengers find loved ones on Foursquare, allowed us to reveal the heroic last moments with the Millionaire's Captain on Facebook, communicated with the ship's radio controller on Twitter, answered questions about the disaster on Quora, and have hopefully brought some semblance of peace to the nation. From all of us at News 4210, good night.